Watch people drop it into. Again, we're going to go use my program.
You've got the homework thing pre-scheduled. Good.
Hey everybody.
Hello, hello.
Happy day number 1. As you're coming on, please do hop into the comments below and say hi and where you're tuning in from. We love seeing where people are watching this to and from. And again, we're very, very excited for this week. This is the first time we've done this workshop, well, obviously this year since it's January. But I don't think we've done this workshop for about 6 months. So there's going to be a lot of new information that is going to be shared, 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 going to going to be shared, 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 going to be shared. How about now? Can you guys hear us? Is that better? Okay. It's something with the microphone, so we're gonna get rid of this since we don't need that. So can you guys hear us clearly? Like, are we coming through? We're not soft? Yeah? Okay, good. You want to handle that?
It's a little bit quiet. Yeah.
A little quiet. Do you want me to grab my mine from my office?
I don't know.
I can grab it. I'll be right back.
I don't know if that's going to make a difference though. So
yeah, we can at least give it a try.
I gotta love technology. So anyway, we have a lot to cover this week. Obviously, today is going to be all about going over your LinkedIn profiles. And there's something interesting that we've added to this training as far as what needs to be done initially when it comes to setting up your LinkedIn profiles. Now, first and foremost, I'm going to drop a link in the chat. We do have a private Facebook group set up for everyone. This is where the homework will be posted. So we are giving away prizes. Drop a Y or a yes or an N or a no if this is or is not your first time joining us in one of these workshops. So Y or yes or N or no. Okay, for those that have not been a part of our workshops, Nancy and I reward people with various prizes, Amazon gift cards, access to some of our programs for free, bonus sessions with myself and Nancy. So we do encourage everyone to participate in the accountability assignments. So we will be giving out prizes each and every day. There'll be 2 winners announced, and these are done through the homework that will of the Facebook group. So can you guys still hear us right now? Is that coming through a little bit more clearly? Yeah, not as soft. Okay, good. Let's hope that works. So again, we left the link in the chat. I think that happened when you came across. Okay. So the big thing is making sure that you join the Facebook group, making sure that you participate in the homework thread that's going to be pinned to the top of the Facebook group. It'll also be emailed out. And the one other thing that I want to make sure that you guys know is that there are going to be 4 emails sent out every single day. You're going to get 4 emails from myself and Nancy. One is going to be the replay email that is always going to be sent out at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time every morning starting tomorrow. You're also going to get a 1-hour reminder about the workshop, a 15-minute reminder, and a we are live. So if everybody is clear on that, please drop a Y or a yes in the chat. Just want to make sure that everybody is clear on that. Okay, good. Now, drop a number 1 in the chat if you can see us and hear us clearly. We want to make sure there's no more video and audio issues going into this. Now, the one thing before we get to the housekeeping, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being highly optimized and highly skilled, 1 being I need some work, where would you guys rate yourselves on a scale of 1 to 10 as far as your fluency of how to use LinkedIn? So I'm seeing some 2s, 1s, 8s, 5s. Yep. Yes, and this is the same link, same Zoom link every single day will be used this week. Now, one other quick announcement, as Nancy and I always do, outside of the accountability prizes that people have the opportunity to win, we have added a bonus day this coming week. So Saturday, and we'll send reminders out about this, but you can mark it down in your calendars, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. On Saturday, we are going to be doing 60 minutes of live Q&A with myself and Nancy. So any questions that you guys have from the workshop, obviously you can get your questions answered then. To make things more streamlined and easy, we will be sending out an email that's going to have a form where you can pre-submit your questions ahead of time so we can streamline the process, spend as much time as we need to with you guys on that bonus call Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's 11 to 12, and you can pre-submit as many questions as you want. This is an area of my expertise. I am really good at hot seat questions. One of the workshops that we did, we had 78 pre-submitted questions. And I got through all of them in 35 minutes. So I am really good at rapid fire question and answer. So again, we have over 400 people registered for the workshop. Some are going to be watching on the replay. So we encourage people to really make sure that you use that time, the Q&A time with us, to the utmost that you can. The other reason why every session is recorded, and the recordings will be, as I mentioned earlier, emailed out every single morning at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. There is going to be a replay page link. So it's not a recorded video. There's actually a page that we created that each one of the recorded days will be populated on that page. So literally, you can just open up that page every single day, hit refresh, and you'll see the new video there. So if everybody is clear on that so far, please drop a Y or a yes in the chat. Just want to make sure. Okay, good. Now, the other thing that I want to remind you guys of is to, as questions populate, because you guys will have questions as we move through the 5 days together, you're going to have questions, and we want them answered, but we want to try to refrain from asking them during the workshop because we have a lot of information to get through. That is exactly why we added the bonus day on Saturday. Even if you can't attend live on Saturday, say you have something that you need to do, you have a prior commitment at 11 o'clock, resubmit your question when the form gets sent out later this week anyway, because then you can go back and watch the replay and you can hear your question answered. So if everybody is clear on that, please drop a Y or a yes in the chat. You will hear me say that fairly often. The reason being, and this is just for anyone that's a coach or consultant, anyone that does workshops, it's really important to get your audience to engage. Number one, and I would say the most important reason why, is it has been proven that people will retain 3 times more information when they are engaging during the presentation. So you want to keep people focused, and you keep them focused by giving them calls to action and cues of what you want them to do. The second thing I want you guys to do right now is whatever tabs you have open on your computer, close them out except this. If you have your phone by you, turn it face down and mute it, because we live in this world where we're doing 18 things at once. We really want you to retain as much information as possible. So turn your phone off or over and mute it, close out all your other tabs, and let's really spend the 60 minutes that we get each day together focused and ready to grow. Nance, anything that you'd like to add?
No,
She will
no.
talk. I promise. It is not.
Just making sure we don't have any more technical difficulties.
Yeah, she will talk. I promise you. I promise you. Now, obviously, everyone knows that Nancy and I have two different zones of genius. Obviously, marketing and branding is her specialty, especially building that online. LinkedIn, human connection, sales, filling courses, programs, all that stuff, creating connection, rapport, power partners. That's my jam. And when you combine the both of us together, obviously, that's when a lot of the magic will happen. Now, what I will tell you is that any of you that have ever attended any of our LinkedIn workshops before, things have changed. LinkedIn is not what it once was. This is not from a negative standpoint. Thank you, Carol. Not from a negative standpoint, just a truthful standpoint. And the fact is that it's not working the way that it did a year ago, 2 years ago, and 3 years ago. There was a time where you can send a ton of messages and you will get a ton of replies back. You'll be filling up that calendar. People have become more and more skeptical to hop on calls with people on LinkedIn because of the overwhelming amount of spam that is going out on the platform. All the 18-paragraph long drunkalog verbal vomit messages, all the spammy notes that people are adding to their connection requests, all the spammy content of people selling and pitching. That is not how you build rapport and trust on LinkedIn. It's not. The way that you build trust and rapport on LinkedIn is being a person of value. That is the big thing. Now, amongst all the things that we're going to cover today within your LinkedIn profile, there's one additional thing that we've never done before. Type the word "me" in the chat if you filled out our pre-workshop business quiz. Awesome. And congrats to those who did, because this is going to help you really optimize everything that you want to do on LinkedIn by really understanding what gaps and holes you might have in your business. If you have not, that is okay. Part of the homework for today is to not only start the process of optimizing your LinkedIn profile, but to fill out your business assessment quiz, which is going to help you with every other day this week. So you will be, we'll drop it in the chat towards the end of today's training. We'll also email it out. That way everyone can fill out this business assessment quiz. You get an email back from us after you fill it out that's going to give you responses. It's going to show you what aspects of your business you need the most help with, which is going to help you with your strategy on LinkedIn.
Well, and like Scott said too, this is the time that we've done this assessment, and it has given us such a great look into, all the things that you guys are working on, because again, our goal is to make this training more and more effective each time that we do it. And we want to make sure we're speaking to you, and helping you through the different pain points and gaps in your business. So the assessment is like two-part, not just obviously helping to uncover some things. Guys, I would save, I think every single person who fills it out will get an email with the results. Save it, right? Because you can go back and refer to it and kind of take a look at those things that, again, you want to work on. And of course, there's a whole section about LinkedIn. And hopefully, right, the goal is by the end of this training, by the end of the workshop, a lot of those places where you were really low on the scale, we're going to bump that up, right? We're going to kick that up a notch. So again, thank you guys for taking the time to complete that. And like Scott said, we'll share that at the end, right? Because we want you super focused. But definitely don't want you guys to forget how valuable of a tool that's going to be for you guys.
So I will also say this, one of the biggest shifts that every single one of you has to make is up here. Mindset shift. That's the 6 inches between your ears will either help your business or hurt your business. And that's what we really want to do. We want to get all of you at a 10 with the mindset that you have going into leveraging and using LinkedIn, but at a 10 in achieving all the goals that you want this coming year. So if you guys are ready to dive in, please do drop a Y or a yes in the chat, and I will get our screen shared. Awesome. Let me just get this done. I am going to hide video panel. All right. So as always, if you guys can see our screen clearly, please drop a Y or a yes in the chat. I just want to make sure we got no. Beautiful. Okay. Now, everyone was emailed ahead of time the workbook. If you did not get it, you're going to have multiple chances because it's going to go out in every single email that we have. Plus, for the first time, we actually added it to the private Facebook group. So if you go into the files section of the Facebook group, again, you will get that. And again, the link for the workbook has already been posted in the private Facebook group. And if you check any of the emails that you got today, it has a link for you to download the workbook. So it is all right there for you. Now, again, just to go back over the general housekeeping, make sure you're in the private Facebook group. We dropped the link above. You're getting those 4 emails. The replays are available until next Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you can binge as much as you want, as often as you want, until next Monday. Now, as I mentioned earlier on, there is going to be accountability homework each and every day. It needs to be done 30 minutes prior to the next day's training. So you have until 12:30 tomorrow to complete the assessment and the assignment from today's training from the people that either email support@thetimetogrow.com or post it directly in the private Facebook group, the thread that's atop. You will be entered in to win one of the 2 homework prizes that we are giving out each and every day this week. So if we're clear on all the general housekeeping, drop a Y or a yes in the chat. Just want to make sure we're clear before we dive into day number 1. Now, day number 1, creating a profile that gets you more visibility. Now,
Sorry, just jumped.
There we go. Creating a profile that gets you more visibility and traction. What I will say is this. What you're looking at right here, day number 2, building your ideal client network, messaging, booking, and closing sales, positioning yourself as a thought leader through your content, and the 20-minute routine. What I will say to you is this. Nothing will connect with what you need to do on LinkedIn if your profile is not optimized the right way. So we're going to do this. And for those that have not been a part of this, we have some slides to share. And then I'm actually going to show you my profile to give you a snapshot of some ideas of how yours should look as well. Now, I will tell you this. We have people in our high-level group program that we're going to share some amazing stories later this week. But just to give you a snapshot, we help people update and optimize everything within what they're doing on LinkedIn privately in our group program. But I'll say one person in particular got opportunities just by the simple changes they made on their profile. So if people think, are these changes really going to matter or make a difference? Is it really going to lead to something bigger? The answer to that is absolutely yes. Now, your profile is the first thing that a new contact is going to see. It only takes seconds for people to decide whether or not to connect with you or not. You want your profile to be memorable and impactful. So that's the first and foremost. That's number 1. The second thing is, I know this may sound redundant or very simple, but you need to use a clear and professional photo of yourself. People want to put a face to what they're reading. Faces connect and bodies sell. Now, funny story really quickly. Back in the day, for those, how many of you, Y or yes or I don't know, how many of you knew that I was in the fitness industry prior to everything that Nancy and I are doing right now? So Y or yes, N or no? Okay. So if you didn't, I was in the fitness industry from 1998 to 2016. I had multiple gyms. I had online wellness programs, personal training, sports nutrition, all that. So when I got onto LinkedIn, it was initially to build an online wellness business that I was running, nutrition plans, workouts, and I didn't understand the concept of how faces connect and bodies sell. So I made the mistake of putting a profile picture of me from one of my bodybuilding competitions. And any of you that have ever seen any bodybuilding competitions, you're not wearing much. And it definitely invited the wrong attention. And I got some very inappropriate messages. I got inappropriate connections. And I remember talking to a client at the time, and he gave me this advice. He goes, Scott, don't forget, bodies sell, faces connect. You want to connect, you don't want to sell. And from that day forward, I changed my profile. It's been updated a few times, but that's when you just see my face now. So remember, you need to be professional.
It's not Instagram.
It's not Instagram. It's not Instagram. So that's number 2. Number 3 is highlight yourself as the business owner if this applies. Now, drop a Y or a yes in the chat if you are the owner of your business, or N or no if you don't own your business, just so we can get yes, yes, yes. I'm seeing a lot of yeses. Awesome. Okay. So if you are the owner of your business, you need to highlight yourself as the business owner. And we're going to go over some of the things that you can do that. Now, the other thing that you need to do is taking advantage of the name pronunciation, creator mode, the profile clickable link, the LinkedIn bell, and the featured content section, which I'm going to show you all of those and where to find them today. Now, the other thing that we need to focus on when Nancy clicks the screen is your summary. So this is important because this gives you the opportunity to tell people why you do something, not simply what you do. You're looking to create a connection point. You need to create an emotional response from someone that visits your profile. So if you're not creating the right visibility within your profile, then guess what? You're not going to create that connection point. So if that makes sense, drop a Y or a yes in the comments below. Just want to make sure you guys are with me because we're going to be throwing a lot of information out at you. Anything that you wanted to add?
Nope.
Okay. It's so funny because we've been doing this for 4 years, and there's days where she does talk more because it's when it's around content and connecting, but the profile is obviously always about me, and this part of things. But
no, I know we have a lot to get through, but I will definitely,
Chime
share
in.
how impactful this is.
Yep. So again, creating that emotional connection between you and your audience and the person visiting your profile. Now, you also want to fill out every section that you can on LinkedIn, your experience section, your education section, volunteer experience, licenses and certifications. Remember, people really want to learn how they can benefit from being connected with you. It should not be a boring resume. And that's the way that it once was, but it's not that way anymore. Now, here's the other thing. You're not going to be able to update everything that you need to do in your LinkedIn profile today. It's going to take time. But I want you guys to commit to constantly tweaking and advancing your profile so it's exactly the way that you want to look, not just this week, but even after the workshop is over. So type in the words, I commit, if you're going to commit to doing and setting up your LinkedIn profile the right way, not just this week, but moving forward. Awesome. Now, so there's some questions that you want to ask yourselves. And the first question is, what are the keywords I should use? Now, I'm not sure if people knew this, but on LinkedIn, there is something called SEO embedded in all of our profiles, which is search engine optimization. If you knew that, drop a Y or a yes. If you didn't, type an N or a no if you did not know that. So I'm seeing some yeses and some nos. Okay, good. Now, if you didn't know that, this is very important because when your profile is optimized the right way with the right keywords, meaning what people are searching for. So when you guys go on Google, when you go on Yahoo, when you go on Bing, whatever search engine you're using, you put in keywords into that search, and the output is going to be things, websites, products, programs that are optimized the right way within those keywords. Your profile is the same thing.
LinkedIn is a search engine. That's why there's a search bar at the top. So if you don't have the right keywords within your LinkedIn profile, guess what? It's not going to populate. So I want to take you through a little bit of an exercise really quickly. Type in the chat if you were thinking about your ideal client. So the person from an industry or professional standpoint, if you really want that person to find you on LinkedIn, what is a keyword or a couple keywords that if this person searched and punched it in, your profile would populate? So type in the chat, what are some keywords? Women business owner, increase equity, solopreneur, health, copyright. Beautiful. This is one of those things that people forget about. So there's a lot of people that write, and this is not to say one is better than the other, but I see a lot of people on LinkedIn, they have a power statement. Like, I help XYZ people achieve XYZ result. They have that in their headline under their LinkedIn profile. That's not searchable. SEO is keyword phrased, not key sentence phrased. So if you have that in the top part of your headline, that actually should be in the about section. That's where people are learning about what you do and how you help people. So if that's clear and if that makes sense, drop a Y or a yes in the chat. That's why for me, we have Expert Authority Mastermind. I have lead generation. I have marketing. I have branding, podcast host, author, speaker, all the things that position me. So when someone searches for those, guess what? I'm going to populate. So you all have to think about those keywords that will allow your LinkedIn profile to populate. That is big. Now, second thing, other question you need to ask yourself.
Should we also throw no emojis?
Oh yeah. So that's a good point. So this is actually something that's not too publicized, but LinkedIn actually penalizes the searchability of your profile if you have emojis in your headline. So I had a client of mine that had her profile actually disabled for 24 hours, and she reached out to LinkedIn and said, why was my profile disabled? And they said, because you have emojis in your headline, please remove them and we will reinstate your profile. They don't say that anywhere. So you don't want to have any emojis in the headline of your profile. Number one, if there's an emoji in front of a keyword, guess what the SEO is going to read? The emoji, not the keyword. So it's actually not going to pull the right information. Good point.
Yeah.
No emojis. Now, the other thing that you have to ask yourself is, who is the best person or profession for me, my product, my good, or my service? 200 character limit on the headline. So you can have 200 characters in the headline section. You don't have to use all 200 of them. You might want to have just 3 or 4 keywords, but you can have up to 200. So you have to ask yourselves, who is the best person or profession for me, my product, my good, or my service? Now, here's the thing. The one thing that I want you guys to type in the chat now, and just to let everybody know, at one point it was acceptable to have emojis in your profile, but as of 2022, they actually updated that into 2023, and they actually started to penalize people. So at one point, I even had emojis in my profile. But when that happened to my client, I removed them, and then obviously I'm teaching other people how to do the same thing. Now, type in the chat, from a profession or industry standpoint, who do you best serve? So type in the chat, from a profession or industry standpoint, who do you best serve? Coaches and consultants, Regina says. Awesome. Women business owners. Awesome. Now, you want to make sure whatever you're typing in the chat, it is searchable on LinkedIn. So you need a profession or an industry. So you can't just say man or woman. That's not an industry or a profession. You can put women podcast host or female business owner. That is searchable. So program or event planners, leaders wanting to get better, business coaches, consultants, people in trades. Awesome. Small businesses, realtors. Beautiful. So if this is all clear and making sense, drop a Y or a yes in the chat. Just want to make sure you guys are with us so far. Beautiful. Now, another question that you should ask yourself is what are some jobs I have had in the past that I can include in my profile that will link me to my ideal client? One of the biggest questions that Nancy and I get is, should I add all the things in my job history past, even if they're not related to what I'm doing right now? And my answer every single time is yes. The idea of your experience section is to show people the journey that you have gone on to get to where you are today. So I spent a great deal of time in the health and wellness industry. I'm not going to negate that. I learned a lot being in the health and wellness industry. I learned how to connect with people. I learned how to solve people's problems. I learned how to build relationships. I learned about consistency and routine and structure. All of those things we're doing today in our business practice. So don't ever get rid of anything that you haven't done or you have done. Don't get rid of it. It's there for a reason. It's also a point of contact for you, meaning when you're connecting with people, it's conversation piece. You're always looking for other ways and other means and ways of connecting with people that you're connecting with. Now, so when we talk about, and a bunch of you said that you own your own business. So some power adjectives that you can use in your headline. So you can say owner of, creator of, president of, CEO of, founder of, operator. You can say licensed real estate professional, licensed financial planner, certified financial planner, coach, consultant, expert in this. You need to use these power adjectives to position yourselves. Position yourselves as the experts in your space. So if that's clear and if that makes sense, drop a Y or a yes in the chat. You are looking to put yourself into a category on LinkedIn where it is 100% undeniable that you are the person that people need to talk to. Now, here's the other honest truth. If you all gave LinkedIn a really good 12-month run, meaning if you leveraged it the right way, in 12 months, your business can change. We've had people close multiple 5-figure contracts. We've had people 3 and 5x their revenue in 12 months, just following our deeper strategy and leveraging LinkedIn. LinkedIn is the nucleus of everything else that you're going to be doing. It is the leads and sales portion of your business puzzle. And you need to commit to that. Now, that is not saying that you shouldn't have a presence on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, wherever else you are. You need to be omnipresent. Now, drop a Y or a yes if business professionals or business people are an ideal client of yours. Drop a Y or a yes in the chat. Well, most of, if not all of your time should then be spent on LinkedIn. That is not to say that they are not on other platforms, but you have to remember LinkedIn is there for 2 reasons. Number one, to connect with potential ideal clients and power partners. And number 2, to network and build business relationships. And if you go into that with that perspective, you are going to have tremendous, tremendous results.
Yeah. And one thing that I want to throw out there, guys, is, last year was the year that I actually wrote my first book, which was all about how to build your personal brand on social media. And after doing a ton of research, right, interviewing people, digging into, other personal branding experts across the board, right, the general consensus is you can do a lot of different things, but one of the most impactful things that you can do to build your business and also your personal brand is to have an optimized LinkedIn profile. And so whether, right, you're really looking at connecting with leads on LinkedIn, or if you're looking to showcase, right, your skills and abilities, whether you're looking to, really connect with even referral partners and power partners, it can be used for so many things, but it is an absolute 100% hands down necessary thing, right? If you really want to build your personal brand and get yourself out there, right, as the expert in your space.
Yep.
And the book, I don't know if you guys can see this, it's How to Build Your Personal Brand on Social Media.
How many people have
Copy.
Nancy's? Drop a wire yes. How many of you have Nancy's book? Drop a wire yes in the chat.
So yeah, so in my book, again, you know, it's all about the importance of really getting yourself out there. And right, every single one of us in this day and age, with technology, with everything advancing, again, whether you own your own business, or if you're an advisor, or if you are someone who is in sales, right? People are searching for you. Okay. And like Scott said, this is a platform that is SEO optimized, meaning when you go on Google and you search your name, most likely, right, your LinkedIn profile is going to pop up. So by optimizing it in the ways that Scott is going over, there is a rhyme and a reason for everything. Okay. So I can't stress this enough, how important it is. Even if, right, you're not using it as your main source of generating leads and whatnot, use it as a place to really showcase your expertise and get yourself out there and build your personal brand in the right way.
Yeah, and the other cool thing is it doesn't matter, you know, where you guys are in the stage of your business, whether you're pre-launch, you're in early stages, you are, you know, bringing consistent revenue, or you're advanced. There's a place for everybody on LinkedIn. So it doesn't matter how far or how early you are into building your business. Every single one of you can get ahead by leveraging LinkedIn the right way.
Every single.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, the other thing that you want to think about are some of the bonus features that you can have on your LinkedIn profile that really makes it stand out. It really allows you to showcase your expertise. And, you know, the five that I love most, the LinkedIn name pronunciation, LinkedIn creator mode, the profile clickable link, the LinkedIn bell, and LinkedIn featured content. So drop into the chat, you know, 1 through 5. So 1 being I only am taking advantage of one of them. 5, I'm taking advantage of all of them. How many of these features are you taking advantage of? 1, 0, 0, 5, 4, 1. Okay. You need to be taking advantage of all of these. And I'm going to show you where every single one of these is on your profile. And these really help you grow your business. I promise you. Creator mode, in my humbled and honest opinion, is one of the greatest things that LinkedIn has ever done, because it gives you access and reachability. And I invite any of you to go to my LinkedIn profile. I'm going to show you, but if any of you go on LinkedIn and you search Scott Aaron, just hit my follow button, and then you'll get access to my profile, see how I have things set up. And again, that will allow you to get a more clear picture outside of what I'm going to show you guys today.
Well, and I just wanted to throw in there too, you know, creator mode, which Scott is going to show you, it opens you up to so many different things that you can do. And just an example of that, you know, we had a member of our program. In fact, we spoke to her last week. She had just gotten off, you know, talking to someone, and she's sending them a $50,000 proposal for the consulting that she does. And she closed a $12,000 proposal from someone who found her from one of these things that we're going to talk about that unlock when you make creator mode in action,
Yep.
right? When you turn it on.
Yep. So, and again, this is happening all the time with the clients that we work with. So again, this is something that we teach literally every single week.
And it works.
And it people say, well, you know, like, how do I get results? Honestly, just follow in our footsteps and you're going to get the results that you want. So the summary section, again, these are, I would say, 5 very specific tips of what you need to do. And again, these are things that you need to update over time. So I just want you guys to know, we don't want you to feel overwhelmed. Just commit to taking the slow but steady aspect of updating your profile, right? And a lot of this stuff is in the workbook, but I'm going to be showing you live shortly, so you guys will see that. So again, slow and steady wins the race. Okay. I want you guys to really take your time in updating all of these sections. So the summary section, which is the about me section, should be 300 to 500 words in length. So it should be a couple paragraphs. It should be written in first person. So I, right? Present tense. So you want to talk currently about what you're doing. So you don't want to talk about it in third person like Kramer from Seinfeld. You need to be sharing your story, not someone else. You also want to make sure that you have a very specific call to action included at the bottom of your summary section. So email me here, visit my website here, book a call with me here. You need to let people know what you've done, what you're doing now, and what your goals are for moving forward. Let people know what makes you different with all that you've done and are doing in your career. So if that makes sense, drop a Y or a yes in the chat. 300 to 500 words in length, first person and in present tense, and a specific call to action. Remember, just like a website, you're looking to create a journey. You're looking to move people from point A to point B. But if you don't give people a compass to follow, they're never going to reach their destination. You have to think of your LinkedIn profile like a GPS coordinates, right? So when people are visiting your LinkedIn profile, Nancy talks about this all the time. You don't want people burning calories trying to figure out what you do and how you serve people. You want it to be so clear about what you do, how you do it, who you serve, and the results that people can get.
Yeah. And I know in your workbook, guys, there is a blank spot where it says 300 to 500 words in length. So again, for anyone who has printed that out or is taking notes, make sure you put 300 to 500. And just a reminder, again, the workbook has been sent out in all the emails that you guys receive, and then also in the Facebook group.
Yep. And do make sure that you check your junk or spam just in case, because sometimes people's emails get sent there. So check your junk or spam, because we are sending 4 emails a day. We sent 4 today, and every single one of them included the workbook download link. Now, the other thing is with your experience section, okay? You need to list at least 3 experiences. You can have more. I have about 17, but you need to have at least 3. And for each of them, a 3 to 5 sentence description. So not bullet points. You need to have a description. You know, what you do or what you did if it's not currently what you're doing. Fill out your education. And I'll give you a cheat rate here. There is ageism on LinkedIn, sadly. So with your education, do not include the dates that you attended. Get rid of the years. Just have where you went, what you studied, and that is it. So if everybody is clear on that, drop a Y or a yes in the chat. Okay, that's a little cheat rate there. Make sure that you have all your licenses and certifications filled out. Show how credible you are. LinkedIn is big on philanthropic activity. Nancy and I actually just partnered with an amazing nonprofit recently that we're going to be doing some work with, called Brushes with Cancer. They were big supporters of my father when he was battling brain cancer last year. He beat it. He is in remission. He's stronger than ever, aside from getting a double knee replacement 3 weeks ago. But he's already up and walking and feeling better. So you have to highlight those philanthropic activities that you take part in, whether you're a volunteer, whether you donate, whether you help out, whatever it is, include that. Have at least 15 skills listed. People need to know what you're skilled at. Let them know. List accomplishments, awards that you've won, publications that you've been featured in. But also number 8, and I can't stress this one enough, gather as many recommendations as possible. So type in the chat Y or yes or N or no if you've gathered any personal recommendations on LinkedIn since you've been on there. So I'm seeing some yeses, I'm seeing some nos. All right, now what I'll tell you is the one area of LinkedIn that will help your credibility more than anything else is the recommendation section. So I have close to 520 written recommendations since I've been on LinkedIn. And that is because I've helped a lot of people. And I'm not twisting people's arms to write them. I've written over 120 recommendations personally. I will scratch the backs of those who scratch mine. If you want to start positioning yourself as an expert in your space, really start leveraging the recommendation section. Now, so first and foremost, if you guys are starting to get clear on what we're going over today, drop a Y or a yes in the chat, because we're going to take a live look right now at my LinkedIn profile. So if you guys can see my LinkedIn profile, please drop a Y or a yes in the chat. All right, good. So this is actually kind of cool. This just happened in real time. If you guys can see this right here, I've been really chipping away at this. I just got my 30,000th, try saying that 3 times in a row,
30.
follower on LinkedIn. And that has taken some time. It's taken some consistency, and it's taken some effort to get to. But I will tell you, consistency always wins. Always wins. Thank you. I appreciate your support, and it's probably a lot of you. And I am just so grateful for all of you and the support that you give us on LinkedIn. Now, so just to kind of go over a couple of things. First and foremost, you can see what I was talking about, a clear profile picture, and this is your headline. So you can see right here, I'm using the 200 characters, okay? And you can see that I have a lot of specific keywords: expert, mastermind, creator, leads, lead generation, author, speaker, marketing, podcast, host. These are all keywords. So you have to understand what you're putting in that headline will dictate what does and what does not show up on LinkedIn. So if that's clear and if that makes sense, drop a Y or a yes in the chat. That's a prime example. This is what you can have up to 200 characters in your headline. So 200 characters, however many keywords you want to put in there, you can do that. Now, you're going to see some other things right here. I'm not sure if you guys are going to be able to hear this, but tell me if you guys can hear this. Drop a Y or a yes. Let's see.
Everybody, this is Scott Aaron. Thanks for checking out my page. Connect with me, follow me, or send me a message if you'd like to leverage LinkedIn to build your business.
All right, so that is the name pronunciation. That's the name pronunciation. So this has to be done from the mobile app, okay? And the easiest way of how to do this is you need to go on to your LinkedIn profile. And again, I can show you really quickly. Just stop the share really quick, Nance. I promise I'll share this really quickly. Okay. So I'm going to show you guys this from my phone. So here's the LinkedIn app. Okay. What you're going to do is you're going to click your profile bubble on the top left. You'll see a profile bubble, and you don't have to update this right now. I'm going to show you where to find it after today's training. And you'll see where it says view profile. So you're going to view your profile, and you're going to see an edit pencil. You guys see that little edit pencil to the top right there? There's a little edit pencil. When you hit the edit pencil, okay, it's Nancy's finger, you're going to see a section that says name pronunciation right there. And if you don't have one, all you're going to do is hit add name pronunciation. And what it's going to do is it's going to ask to access the microphone on your phone, and there's going to be a little red record button. And then all you have to do is hit record and give a little 10-second little description of who you are, what you do, and who you serve. That's it. That adds some personality to your LinkedIn profile. So if everybody is clear on that, drop a Y or a yes in the chat. So again, that is something that is optional, but again, it adds some personality to what you're doing. All right, let me get back to my screen here. Okay. Now, you're also going to see two things right here. You're going to see what I talk about, and then you're going to see a hyperlink right here. Both of those and the 30-second video for those that are asking, that was removed as of December 1st of 2023. So they first rolled it out that no one can add it. Those that had it kept it. But as of December 1st of 2023, they took that feature away. They may be adding it back in. They may not. If people aren't using a specific feature, they typically get rid of them, and that's basically why they did. Now, so you'll see these two areas. Drop a Y or a yes if you can see these two areas, the clickable link and the hashtags. Okay. Now, all of this is done through creator mode. So type a Y or a yes or an N or a no if you do or do not have creator mode turned on. So yes or no. Now, if you don't, I encourage you to turn it on this week. And all you have to do is, it'll have like a gray off button. And all you have to do is click this little creator mode button. You'll see a turn on area and you'll click next. And it will take you to here where you can have profile topics. Now your profile topics, you can have up to 5. So I can get rid of all these and I can type all new ones. So you can type whatever ones you want, but they should be topics that relate to your expertise, that relate to your zone of genius. So if that's clear and if that makes sense, drop a Y or a yes in the chat. So you can have all 5, you can have 2, you can have 1. Totally up to you. Yeah, so I literally could just have LinkedIn, whatever I want. I can get rid of client acquisition and I can have all stuff LinkedIn. And then I can click save and now it's saved. Now you'll also see LinkedIn Live, audio events, newsletters, follow feature. When you turn creator mode on, it actually turns the follow button on your profile. So you get less spammy connection requests, you get less spam messages. It allows to build your following and gives you the driver's seat to building your network on your own. Now, there are some parameters for this. And the big parameter is this: you must have at least 150 connections and or followers to leverage LinkedIn Live, the audio events, newsletters, and the follow feature. If you don't, then you have to build that up by connecting with people. So remember, when you go to your LinkedIn profile, it's very simple. You go down to creator mode, which is under resources, and you click the gray off and you turn it to the green on.
And does it say anything if you don't have enough connections?
No.
It doesn't. It just,
well, no, when you go to creator mode, it'll have like a gray mark and it'll say, you need 150 connections to access this.
Got it.
Now, the other thing that I will share with you is this. When you do turn creator mode on, you then can access the LinkedIn clickable profile link. And this can be updated on the mobile app or the desktop. You click on the pencil, and this is where you would edit all your information, and you'll see at the bottom, custom button. So now you can drive traffic to wherever you want. Your website, your calendar, a product, a service, a good, a workshop, wherever you want.
I'll just throw in there. I love the quote. Donald Miller, who is the writer of a book called Marketing Made Simple that I love, and also the personal branding, book that he created. He said, "Do not make people burn calories to figure out how to work with you." This has made it so easy, right? To be able to put a button in there and lead people to next steps, right? So this is a huge feature everyone should be taking advantage of.
And all you're going to do is you're going to click edit custom button. You're going to select link, and then you're going to put the link and the link text. The reason why you want to put the link text is if you just put your Calendly or your Acuity or your website, all it's going to have is that URL. But if you put in check out my website, instead of having the URL, it's going to have check out my website with the clickable link. Now, remember, you have to turn creator mode on first. Once it's turned on and you have those 150 connections / followers, then you will be able to access the LinkedIn clickable profile link. So if everybody is clear on that, please drop a Y or a yes in the chat. Just want to make sure. Awesome. So again, and that's also where you'll see this little pencil right here. That is actually where the LinkedIn bell is. So you can't see it on your own, but when you go to visit someone's profile, you're going to see a LinkedIn bell there now. So that's why you want to direct people to clicking on your LinkedIn bell, because that means they'll get a notification every single time they actually visit your profile. So that's a way to draw more engagement and more activity with everything that you're doing. Now, the other thing that I want you guys to also take note of is the featured content section. The featured content section is very easy. All you have to do, the bell is visible on your profile if you have creator mode turned on by another connection. So connections of yours can see your bell. You can't see your own. Now, I know, again, this is a lot of information, but again, that's why we are going to have the replay available tomorrow morning. So you'll be able to dive into all of this. Now, the other thing is any section that you need to update and any section that you need to really leverage, all you have to do is click this add profile section here, and it's going to give you three options: core, which are your education, positions, career break if you have any, recommended, add featured. Now, when you click on the add featured area, this is where you should add three specific things. This could be a recent post. So if I click on the plus sign here, it's going to say, Scott, what do you want to add? Do you want to add a post? Do you want to add your newsletter if you have one? Do you want to add an article that you wrote? Do you want to add a link to your website or your YouTube channel? Or maybe you want to add a piece of media. So like a picture or something else. So have at least three, because what that's going to do, it's going to showcase the things that you do and what you are highly skilled at. Now, the about section, just as I showed you, 3 to 500 characters in length, first person, your call to action at the end. So that's the visual of it. Experience section. Again, remember, at least 3 to 5 sentences. Obviously, we have a little bit more here because we want people to learn a lot about what we're doing. But these are all of our experiences. You can see them all listed here. Education with no dates. My licenses and certifications. My volunteer experience. My skills. My recommendations. And you can see 516 recommendations. Publications that I've been featured in. Honors and awards. Organizations, languages, and everything else. Now, I know this was a lot, but the one thing that I want you to focus on first and foremost, is just this section. What we want you to focus on is having a clear background photo, a clear profile picture, and a keyworded headline section. Everything else you will add as you go. If everybody is clear on that, and to edit anything, you just click your edit pencil right here on the top right, and then you can edit everything else from there. So if everybody is clear on that so far, drop a Y or a yes in the chat. So remember, there's two things, and I'm just going to stop my share really quickly. Two things. Number one, I'm going to put this into the chat right now, and this is, there's two parts to the homework. So what I want you guys to do now, everybody that has not taken the business assessment quiz, click on that link that's in the chat right now. That will open up that, and that's part of your homework, is filling out that assessment if you haven't done so already. And the second thing that you're going to do is you're going to update your headline, your profile picture, and your background photo if you need to do so. If it's already ready to go, that's fine. And what you're going to do is you're going to take a screenshot of it and you're going to post it in the homework thread that's going to be pinned to the top of the Facebook group. And it's going to say Day 1 Nancy's homework thread. And I'm going to drop the Facebook group link right there. So you can just click and join if you're not yet in there. And that's all you have to do. You got to fill out your business assessment quiz. You'll get a copy of it once you're done. And then you need to update your headline, your profile picture, and your background photo. If you need to do so, you're going to take a screenshot of it and you're going to drop it in the thread of the day one Nancy's homework thread that's going to be pinned to the top of the Facebook group. And as a reminder, these are all recorded. You're going to get a replay link emailed out at 7 o'clock tomorrow morning, but all of the homework needs to be completed by 12:30 Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. So if everybody is clear so far, just type in the word clear. Just type in the word clear in the chat. Okay. Now, remember, you can turn creator mode on. You can do your experience sections. We only want you, this is going to be a steady process. We don't want to overload you with too much, but getting that headline, that profile picture, and that background photo to be on brand is already going to get you more traction that you may not be getting already. Now, there's a lot of stuff that we're going to cover. Remember, tomorrow, we're going to start going over the way to properly build a thriving LinkedIn network. That is key. If you have the wrong network, guess what? People aren't going to accept your connection request. They're not going to engage. They're not going to get on calls with you, and you're not going to grow your business. So paramount is making sure that you have the right connections within the network that you're looking to build. Nance, anything to add really quickly before we end day number one?
I'm just really excited. And, I just really wanted to give another shout out to Scott, just for recognition, hitting a 30,000 follower. And then also for anyone who didn't know, another thing that I'm super excited about, he actually interviewed one of my, I'm always like fangirling certain people, who are just fantastic just for research information, but someone that I've been following on LinkedIn since before even Scott and I met. I love all of his content. His name is Travis Bradbury. He wrote the book, Emotional Intelligence 2.0. He has millions of followers. He speaks on stage. Scott actually interviewed him last week. And so if you haven't checked out that podcast episode, it's huge. But just wanted to give a little recognition for all the hard work, that you put in, and you do the do. And this whole training, I promise you, every piece is a puzzle piece. So it's all very, very important as we build it all out.
Yep. So again, it's really important for everyone to try to be here live every day with us. Remember the replay, every email moving forward is going to include the workbook and the link to the replay page so you guys can watch the replay. We will also be posting the replays in the private Facebook group in an area called the guides section. And if you need the workbook, there's a files section in the private Facebook group where you can download there, and it's also posted in the thread. So remember, your homework is to take the business assessment quiz. If you have not, we're going to email it out. If you don't have it, we're also going to be posting it in the Facebook group so you guys have it. You have to take the business assessment quiz, plus update your headline, make sure it's keyworded the right way so you appear in more searches, clear profile picture and background photo, screenshot it and drop it in the comments of that homework thread or email support@thetimetogrowth.com. So support@thetimetogrowth.com. If you want to email it, it's easiest just to post it in the Facebook group. So if everybody is clear so far, drop a Y or a yes in the chat. Just want to make sure everybody is with us so far. Awesome. So type in the chat really quickly before we end. How are you guys feeling right now after not really knowing what to do with your profile? So
it's a lot.
what's empowered? Yeah. Love that. Yeah, that's, again, don't feel like you have to edit everything right away. We just want that top portion done. That's it. And we're going to slowly chip away at this, but we promise you, if you show up each and every day this week and engage with us, do the homework, right? You're going to get results on LinkedIn. So everyone, we will be meeting the same time tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, same link. Remember to get your homework in by 12:30 tomorrow. We'll be announcing our first 2 winners at the end of tomorrow's training, so please stay on till the end. And again, we're going over how to build the right ideal network to grow your business, close more sales, and really scale what you have. So everyone, enjoy the rest of your day. Love and gratitude.